Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today I have another limited edition from the distillery of Jura. It's the Jura Two-One-Two. Yes, the Jura Two-One-Two, first about the name, is named Two-One-Two because of the people on the island. There had 212 inhabitants on the Isle of Jura. If they would have named it after the deer, then they would have said about 5,000. I'm not quite sure, but there are more than 1,000 deer on Jura there. You see red deer, red game everywhere on the island. There are also a lot of, grouses and all that. There's a lot of wildlife on Jura. I don't think there are any predators. It's a vintage 2006, so a 13-year-old with 47.5% ABV, and it is limited to 6,000 bottles to this one batch. They do want to have more of these batches, I think, but I'm not quite sure how often they're gonna release it. Probably they're gonna do it yearly. So, Jura single malt Scotch whiskey. Yeah, so it's a single malt, matured in American white oak, ex-bourbon barrels, and finished in chinkapin casks. Interesting. So let's have a look if they say more about this chinkapin. Finished in chinkapin oak casks. Chinkapin Quercus Melembergi. I think it's one of these special kind of subspecies of the American white oak. Here it says Chinkapin Quercus Melembergi from the Quasar mountain range of Missouri. Native to the eastern and central United States, this unusual oak species. I want to have the spices from the from the flavors of the wood inside the whiskey. Was chosen to enhance the warm notes of spice, honey, nutmeg, and the maturing spirit. It is renowned for its palatable acorns, the sweetest of any oak, and its highly prized white hardwood. Tasting notes. Two-One-Two. Why is it called like that? Welcome to Jura. Since 1810. It's limited and they've got paper around it. So it looks a bit like a present. Oh, and I love the bottle shape of Jura. They became a bit taller over the years. And I'm missing a glass. So, yeah, Jura Two-One-Two, ex-American oak, and then these chinkapin oak from Missouri. Never heard of that oak before. Have you ever? Write it in the comments if you've ever read anything about that oak. Is that the chinkapin? The extremely hard white oak? I don't know. But in the end, it's all about the taste. So, there's only one thing we can do. Let's have a sip. It smells, it does have a bit of a bourbon character. So the maturation in the ex-American white oak, ex-bourbon barrels does come through with a lot of honey, but also a bit more spiciness. And with the 47.5% ABV, it's pretty intense. So it's not one of these mild ones. It's more of a strong bourbon character with an unusual amount of spiciness. Like cinnamon and nutmeg. Did they say nutmeg? I think they said nutmeg. And spices. spicy. Oh, it's really spicy. I would even say it has a bit of a peppery touch to it, even a bit of a hot note to it. Wow. Definitely the nutmeg and pepper. It's a bit too little for a chili catch, but there's a good amount of pepperiness and a strong oak within it. Didn't think that the American oak had it in itself. Oh, American oak, you always think about the Quercus alba, and it's just very mild, mellow, just a bourbon character. But this one has a good amount of kick to it. I'll really be excited to see more of these Chinkapin oak casks. Oh, interesting. I really have to read up on these new type of oak. So if anybody of you out there is from Missouri and you know that tree, just go out, take a picture and send it to me with the contact on Whisky.com, because I'd really love to see one of these trees and write something about it on Whisky.com. It's a very interesting topic. Yeah, the Jura distillery, I found that they really look at the wood very closely over the last year, and I found that they have very interesting bottlings going on. So very interesting. So I love that. It's you do realize bourbon character, but with a lot more kick to it. So there's a bit amount of fruitiness and sweetness going on, but there's a lot of interesting spiciness that just makes the whiskey much more edgy and complex. Oh, I love it. It's spicy when you have it in your mouth. Usually when you have it in your mouth, you just feel the sweetness and the alcohol, but this one, just straightforward spiciness. When you swallow it, you do realize, there's a good amount of oak in there as well. I love it. It said also a bit of sweetness in there and fruitiness, but for me, that's just very subtle. I would say this is a spicy, heavy, edgy, complex whiskey, but I do like it. I have to say, a bit unfortunate that it's limited edition. Hopefully they gonna take this Chinkapin and people gonna love it, and hopefully they gonna work it into the normal range as well. But they probably gonna do some experiments with these limited editions, so they can find out what they're gonna do with their standard range in the future. Hopefully that Chinkapin just stays. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video interesting, then please feel free to share it with your friends, and see you next time.